Hey girl, hey. Hey boys, hey. Welcome back to my channel. It is MAMABUDEEZ here. Welcome everyone. I am going to try this out, just the audio, and see how this works out for me since I was having the issues with the blurriness before. I figured instead of not show up at all, why not show up with just a voice, right? This is a place where we do not hate, we participate, we articulate, we speculate, and if you don't act right, we'll have to regulate you on out of here. We do not like to spill tea, we do not like to cast shade, and we do not like to throw dirt at other creators. We try to keep it uplifting over here and support one another. And this is True Crime Tuesday, you guys. Hi, Laura. Hi, Tien. Hey, Chronic, my sister from another mister. Hi, Marianne. I hope everybody is doing good. Is it clear? How is this? I know it's a little awkward because you're used to seeing my face, but I had planned to take a break and not come on because there's just so much prepping to do when you come on. And then I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to try this voice thing. And I am doing my best to not scream at you guys and to just talk at a normal tone. But we are going to be speaking on tonight the Josh Vallow 7-year-old and Taylor Ryan 17-year-old that has been missing since September of last year. I covered this case when it first happened. We found out sometime in November. I believe the exact date was, let me try to remember here, or see if I have it where it was written down. I believe it was November 20 something. It was right after Thanksgiving, it seemed. So at some time at the end of November, the little boy's family, his grandparents, had sent the police over to Josh Vallow's house where he lived with his mother and his brand new stepfather. And they were concerned because they hadn't seen the children since September. So they went over there and they asked Chad Daybell, which was the new stepfather, and they asked Lori Vallow where Josh Vallow and Taylor Ryan were. And they told them that they were staying with extended family. So the police left and they checked out that information and found out in November that these people were lying. And so they immediately went back there the very next day and they had packed up and left. They had a search warrant to search the property, but come to find out, Lori Vallow, the mother of these children, and her new husband, this new stepfather of these children, who are allegedly in a huge cult, they just packed up and left. And they lied to the authorities about where the children were. And we have been looking for them since November, you guys. This is the end of January, and they were found in Hawaii. Now, the World News, ABC World News, reported that they had 48 hours to turn the children over. And the news outlets are reporting that they have 5 days, to turn the children over. And they were found in Hawaii, and the children were not in Hawaii. Now, this case is a huge rabbit hole because everywhere this couple goes, people end up dead. Taylor Ryan, the 17-year-old child that's missing in this case, father mysteriously died young. And then Josh Vallow's adopted father was killed by Lori Vallow's brother. And he said it was self-defense. Well, Lori Vallow's brother ended up dead himself too. And then Chad Daybell has a niece that was supposed to be in this cult as well. And her husband, when they were getting a divorce, had a random drive-by at his house in an attempt on his life. So there's just so many deaths that surround these people. And these children have been missing for months and months, and they've already blatantly lied to the police about the whereabouts of the children. So I want to hold out hope, of course, because that's just the kind of person I am, but it is just not sitting right. Something is not right. And for them to allow this to go on for so long, in November, their attorney released a statement that said that they would return and tell people where the children were when the rumors and speculation stopped. And I just don't know how you can get away with that. And they're also saying that they are not wanted on any criminal charges. So basically, they're saying that they need to physically produce the children, and that they were last seen in September. And according to the Rexburg Police Department, they said that Lori Vallow and her husband, Chad Vallow, were not cooperating and ended up leaving the state back in November. And then they were found months later in Hawaii, you guys, and the children were not with them. So they also didn't report the children missing. And so the Hawaii Police Department was working with the Rexburg Police Department, and they found them and have made this actual, statement that they need to produce the children. Well, their attorney, his name is Sean, confirmed to NBC News that she had been served this order. It was an order to turn the children over to pretty much Department of Services in Idaho. So they said that they have been staying in Hawaii, it says, that for an unconfirmed period of time, but we know they probably were there they packed up and went straight to Hawaii that day in November when the police came knocking on their door. They have been served with a search warrant, and the couple does not face charges or arrest, but the Rexburg Police Department said in a statement that if Vallow fails to produce the children within 5 days, she could be held in contempt of court. But the ABC News reported that she needed to turn them over within 48 hours. So I don't know which it is. But they said that they did learn that Vallow either knows the location of Joshua and Tylee or knows what happened to them. So they are not taking no for an answer now. These people have been able to skate by since November. Since September, their children was last seen. No one has seen or heard of the children since September, you guys. So then we also didn't tell you that the man that she married, his first wife, was ended up dying mysteriously, and they thought it was natural causes until the man ran off and married Lori Vallow within 2 weeks. As soon as he married Lori Vallow within 2 weeks of his wife dying, it made the police think that it was suspect of her dying suddenly because she was healthy before that. And so they exhumed her body, and that is an active investigation. Also, the death of her brother, who ended up killing the father of Josh, the adopted father, of course, ended up dying a mysterious death. And that's still an open, active investigation. So something is sick and twisted in this little religious group that they're a part of. And it says that his wife's death was initially ruled as natural, but after that, they decided that they needed to investigate it a little more, and ended up, because as soon as he got married 2 weeks later, that was a huge red flag to them. So then, what else do I have for you guys? Her remains were exhumed so an autopsy can be conducted. And then we told you about Charles Vallow, which was Lori Vallow's previous husband. And he is the one that died in July. Why does this keep moving on me? He was shot to death by Lori Vallow's brother, Alex Cox. Now, the problem with that is that Alex himself, hold on. I just wish this would quit flipping on me. And my nose is running. So her brother says they had this big confrontation, and Charles Vallow is Josh's adopted father. It is Lori's previous husband. And so Josh Vallow died in July, or Charles Vallow, I'm so sorry. He was shot to death by Alex, which is Lori Vallow's brother, during a confrontation. Vallow and Cox were questioned by the police, but neither one of them were charged. And then Cox died in December. And before Charles Vallow died, he filed for divorce from Lori. He claimed in the divorce documents that his wife believed she was reincarnated and was a god sent to lead people during the second coming of Christ in July 2020. So these people are preparing for the second coming of Christ, and they think that they know when it's going to happen in July 2020. But if you read the same Bible that I read, then you know that it's a thief in the night and nobody knows when or how it's going to happen, or you're a non-believer and it's hogwash to you to begin with. So either way, these people sound crazy. She said he stated in his divorce documents that she told her husband that if he got in her way, she would kill him. And pretty much, I mean, it's alleged that she did. The attorney that represented him during the divorce proceedings said in a statement that Charles Vallow had a genuine fear for his life. So he was terrified that these people were going to do what they did to him. And Joshua's grandparents, the missing little boy, Joshua Vallow, who's only 7 years old, have offered a $20,000 reward for information on where he is, you guys. And Vallow's older son, Colby Ryan, is nearly 7-minute YouTube video titled "Mom Pleaded for her to reveal where the kids are." So she has an older son that is begging her to say where his siblings are. He said, "I really, really want to see Tylee and JJ. I really want this to be over." His name is Ryan. He said, "I want you to end this." So he's begging his own mother. An earlier version of the article included a photo of Taylee's older brother, Colby Ryan, with his wife, Kelsey, and incorrectly identified them as Vallow and her husband, Daybell. The image has been removed. See, at least I love it when media outlets report when they were wrong. I don't know, Laura. That's not the point. Where they got the money from, it wasn't them. It was the grandparents. It's not the parents that aren't saying where the children are. It's the grandparents that raise the money. They're frantic. They don't know what else to do. It's been since September since they've seen these children, and nobody said anything without, having a reward. Now there's a reward out there, and they're hoping somebody would talk. I just don't know how there can be so many dead bodies in their wake. And she thinks that she's a god, allegedly sent from wherever for the second coming, and that they think the second coming is July 2020. These people are doomsday preppers, and they have left bodies in their wake. Allegedly, of course, because we have to say that, but it is true that his wife mysteriously died 2 weeks before he married Lori Vallow. It is safe to say that her first husband Taylor Ryan's father ended up dying at a very mysterious young age. I believe it was a heart attack or something like that, but very young. And then her second husband, Charles Vallow, which was Josh Vallow's adopted father, ended up dying at the hands of her brother, who shot him, who he says it was in self-defense. But the only people that were in the home the night that man got shot were Josh Vallow, Taylor Ryan, and Alex, Lori Vallow's brother, and he's mysteriously dead too, and the children are missing. So anyone that can tell Charles Vallow's parents what happened to that man that night when he was shot by Lori's brother are either missing or dead. So I just find that convenient for Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow that anyone that can attest to what happened to that man when he was shot is gone. And there's an open investigation on the autopsy on his ex-wife. There's an open investigation on the death to her ex-husband. There's an open investigation on the mysterious death to her brother. And also we have a gentleman that came forward and said that he was married to Chad Daybell's niece. And as soon as she started this church religion cult thing, that she came home and said she wanted a divorce from him. And as soon as the divorce proceedings started getting ugly, he had a drive-by shooting where someone shot out the passenger side of his window. And so it's like these people take the law in their own hands and then hide behind religion and say that they were called to do it. It's sick. Oh, they had a big bag of money in their hands in Hawaii, Laura says. Alex died the same mysterious way that Taylor Ryan's dad died. The same mysterious way that Chad Daybell's wife died. Just mysteriously died. There were bags of money in the car, where I wonder where they got that from also. Wow. BS says it too. So they're backing this up, that there was bags of money in the car when they were found in Hawaii. But the children weren't found anywhere, you guys. They were nowhere to be found. And either they have 48 hours like ABC News says, or they have 5 days like the other people said. But they've given them long enough. They gave them since November until now. Like, I would say you're going to tell us where the children are right now, or you're going to jail for impeding an investigation, for obstruction of justice, or I don't know, something. They are really treating these two people with kid gloves. When the reporter was trying to ask them questions, they had a bag of money with them when they found them in Hawaii. Thank you, Laura. People are always saying end of the world. What rubbish. They need locking up too sweet. Yes. Hi, Ellie. It's just devastating that these people have just been living it up in Hawaii while the rest of the world has been frantically looking for their children. I mean, I've been doing videos on them since the first day that we found out they were missing. And so I'm putting more into it, and they're not even my children. They're strangers to me than this mother is for her children. She must either know what happened to them, just like the police said, or she knows where they are. I'm sorry, Natasha. I was having issues with the blurriness, and also I was going to take the day off so I didn't have to brush my hair or do anything. I've been in my house coat all day long. So I knew that if I didn't just do audio, that I wouldn't do a video at all. So here I am. Sorry. Couldn't a judge order them to tell the location of the kids? I thought so too, Rebecca. I thought that the attorney was aiding and abetting them by not telling them where they were back in November. But when I asked my godfather, the retired federal judge, he said that he might not know where they are, that they might have been giving him their statements anonymously from a track phone. He said, but because there are no criminal charges yet. They're not being arrested. They're just being questioned and ordered to tell them where the children are. Yeah. We definitely know there's a cult involved. Yeah, I bet. I bet they did. Let's see what else I can find out about them. Oh, my tablet's about to die. Let's see what else kind of information might have came out recently. So how is everybody tonight? Yeah, it is really sad, the people that are having children and just not taking care of them. It is extremely sad. It breaks my heart. Big time. Okay. And plus, my son can't play his video games and me go live. It just, my internet won't sustain both of us, but it will with the audio. Yeah, I know, Rebecca. I said that all along, but if the attorney didn't know where they were, he's not impeding anything because he has no idea where they were. Now, if he knew where they were and he wasn't telling the police, then he would be impeding the investigation. But there is no investigation right now. They are just ordered to tell them where the children are. It was just in that article that they're not wanted for arrest or anything like that. Here, let me read you another article. That's right. You should know where your children are at all times. It says they were located in Hawaii on Sunday. The two kids are originally from Arizona, and they vanished shortly after moving to Idaho in September. Joshua Vallow is 7 and Taylor Ryan is 17. They were not found with the couple. And according to authorities, their mother was ordered to physically produce the two children before a court in Idaho within 5 days, is what Fox 10 Phoenix reported. And then it says that they were pulled over by the Hawaiian police, and Lori Vallow, 46, and Chad Daybell, 51. That was on Sunday around 3:30 as they were riding in a black Ford Explorer along the highway. And the rental vehicle pulled into the parking lot of the beach resort. They were stopped and put into 2 separate police vehicles as officers executed a search warrant on the SUV they were driving. The Ford Explorer was eventually taken away by a tow truck, and police are also executed a search warrant for their home in Princeville, Hawaii. So they have a home in Princeville, and they were living back in Idaho. The couple were detained briefly, but not arrested, and federal authorities and Eastern Idaho law enforcement aided in carrying out the warrants. And so they just basically served them with search warrants for their vehicle and their Hawaiian home. And Lori was served with a child protection order to physically produce the two children to the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare in Rexburg, Idaho, within 5 days, or risk being subject to the civil or criminal contempt of court. So the investigation hasn't started yet unless she doesn't return the children in 5 days to these people. I think that's what they're trying to do right now, Burnett. They're trying to take the children from them, but that's why they have to produce them to the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare in Rexburg, Idaho, within 5 days. And then it says East Idaho News released a video of the couple walking after they were released from custody in Hawaii, giving minimal response to a reporter who insistently asked about the children's well-being. The couple had disappeared in November and have been wanted for questioning about the children's whereabouts. Lori Vallow married Chad Daybell, an author of several religious-themed fiction books about prophecies and the end of the world. In October 2019, a month after her children were last seen alive, And just days after Daybell's 49-year-old wife, Tammy Daybell, died October 19th in her Idaho home. Her death was initially ruled due to natural causes. Authorities later exhumed the body for an autopsy, but results have not yet been released. Family members of Lori Vallow have accused her of joining a cult. Earlier this month, a third son, Colby Ryan, posted a video to YouTube making an emotional plea to his mother for any information regarding what happened to the sibling. So let's see if we can't hear that. Let's see if they've got that somewhere for us. To listen to. 1 second. I'm seeing if I can. Load it up. I'll have to agree to the terms of use and all that. Yeah, we're not doing that. Oh no, where'd I go? Well, I run with the church's money. Exactly. I agree. Where did it go? Okay. So then it goes on to say, we'll have to try to find the YouTube video later. But it says that her older son was pleading for her to, bring his siblings back, making an emotional plea to his mother for any information regarding what happened to his siblings. Before moving to Idaho, Lori lived in Chandler, Arizona with her 2 children. In July 2019, Lori's estranged 62-year-old husband, Charles Vallow, was shot dead in their home by her brother, Alex Cox. The brother told police he acted in self-defense when Lori refused to back away from his sister. He also said 17-year-old Tylee had first taken out an aluminum baseball bat to defend her mother against Vallow. Cox was never arrested for the shooting, but died unexpectedly in December. His death is under investigation by another Arizona Police Department, Fox 10 Phoenix previously reported. According to the Associated Press, Lori Vallow was sued for divorce by her estranged husband, who alleged that she had become infatuated with near-death experiences and claimed to have lived numerous lives on other planets before her current life. He also accused her of threatening to ruin him financially and to kill him. According to court records, which noted that Charles Vallow sought an order of protection and a voluntary evaluation of his wife at a mental health facility. The AP reported. So, I mean, I just can't believe that they've let these people abscond for so long when there's so much just mayhem left in their wake. Something's wrong with the internet, you guys? Is there something wrong with the internet, you guys? It might be because I'm trying to be on this tablet. Let me shut it down. Is it your internet or my internet that's bad? I can't ever tell. Okay, let me still turn it off so we can just chat about this. This case has been very interesting, but I haven't given it a whole lot of attention because I know that a lot of other YouTubers are covering it. And you know me, I pull for the underdog. I like to give cases attention that hardly anyone's covering. But this one can't help but leave you just wondering and asking questions and just scare you and shy you away from these organized religious groups. And I've always said that it doesn't take 4 walls for church. The church is in the streets, and you can make church anywhere, because I don't go to church, and that could just be for me to justify my own actions, or it can be the truth, but it just depends on who you are. it just gets so scary. That's another reason I don't hand over my money in the offering plate, is because I know that I can take 10% of my income and I can help somebody with it. And I can know that I actually help someone. I don't know what my money goes to when I put it in the offering plate. Yeah, I know the lights for the church and stuff like that, but you just never know if any of it's being misused. And so I know where the money that I'm willing to give away to charity and to help people is going. And that is always a good thing on the other side of it. So, okay, good. As long as my internet's still working. But I just don't understand how law enforcement became so slack. We've all watched them handle Nicole Kessinger with kid gloves. We've all watched them handle this Harley case just way inappropriately. And now we're watching them allow these parents to just be at a beach resort in Hawaii when they went to their house in November and asked them where their children were, and they packed up and left. You would think that when they found them in Hawaii that they would drag them back to the United States and hold them accountable. Well, it is the United States. Drag them back to Rexburg is what I meant to say. See, I'm tired. And hold them accountable. I don't see any more accountability anymore. Yes, we want to hold our law enforcement accountable, and everybody's screaming that to the hills. But what about holding these people accountable? We have somehow let Nicole Kessinger slip through the cracks. We've somehow let whatever happened to Harley slip through the cracks. And same here. And I just don't understand how we've gotten to such a lackluster world, I guess, for lack of a better word. Everybody's just chilling and it's okay. Nothing is immediate or detrimental or instant or proactive anymore. It's always, oh, it'll happen when it happens. Yeah, and that's another thing is I don't want my money. What Burnett said, that some preachers are wealthy in big fancy cars. Yeah, if you decided to go from your Honda that's paid for to a Cadillac Escalade SUV that you have a monthly payment on, it's not my responsibility to give you my tithes to do it. My tithes are for somebody that is about to get their car repoed and they can't afford to lose it. They'll lose everything if they lose their car. And I've always said that if my life coaching business takes off, that's a foundation that I want to start, is a foundation that actually pays one car payment when you're 3 car payments behind and you're on the verge of repossession, because so many people end up going down such a hard road in life because they lose their car. Something happens and they can't work for 3 months, or something happens. And if they'd only had somewhere that could just pay 1 month to give them another 30 days, then I would love to be the voice and the activist behind that and be able to raise money for that. That would be a great organization, because there's so many people in this world that have gotten their vehicle repossessed because there was nowhere that you could go to and say, listen, I need help with this. There's places to help you with your light bill. There's places to help you with rent, but there's nowhere that will help you with the car. They act like a car is a luxury, and it's a necessity these days. Yeah, it's crazy. And that's why I love YouTube, is because, YouTube is like so many reporters. Everybody on YouTube is reporting. And so you can't hide from YouTube. Nobody can. It's like, you think the eye in the sky is bad. Well, there's a quadrillion eyes on YouTube looking at everybody trying to get content or a story. So you better be on your best behavior or you'll be the next Inside Edition. I mean, we don't know that, Natasha, but you are entitled to your opinion. I go back and forth to she didn't physically do anything, to she may have shook him one morning and said, you need to do this. I mean, we don't know. And to me, that's physically pushing him to do it. So it just depends on what you consider physically doing. Yes, absolutely, little lady Di. Yes, you definitely need a car. It's like impossible. And the bus line doesn't work. And, some cities, they don't have buses that go everywhere. And so if you live out in the country, then you can't get on public transportation. And, it's just a struggle because people have to pay childcare too. I wish that there was other foundations that could be made to help people pay their childcare, because that's the biggest thing. Is a lot of women, there are places that do the vouchers and stuff, but a lot of women can't go to work because it would cost them too much in childcare to go to work. So sometimes it's just really, really hard to make it in life when you aren't handed anything. That's why you got to put your big girl panties on and figure it out yourself. Just don't give up. Just keep plugging away, because this is not the end of your story. I tell myself all the time. This is not my final chapter. This is not where my story ends. I have so much more to write in my book of life. So chalk it up to another lesson learned. If it's not a lesson, or if it's not a blessing, it's a lesson. Yeah, they are. I know, Burnett. Thank you. Exactly. So, and they don't allow you to pay family members. That is another law that needs to be changed, to where those vouchers would work with family members. States should be able to pay a family member just as much as they would a random stranger that has an in-home daycare with 14 kids running around to one worker. The kids are in safer hands with a relative that is only have one or two kids. And so I never understood why they wouldn't let those vouchers work to be paid. I mean, I understand it has to be a licensed daycare, but you could take the extra step and put the caretaker that's not licensed through a rigorous program for her to be able to get the check. And I'm sure there was lots of people that would be willing to do it and hold them to some kind of standard like they do daycares with license. But I got big ideas for days, and you just got to make small attainable goals. I can't save the world. And so one step at a time. And right now I am going to help the world by launching my life coaching business. And eventually I want to have other life coaches that work in my same building that specialize in other things that I don't specialize in. I'm actually going to work on specializing in domestic violence, addiction, and grief to start off, and find out which one of those three things that I excel at. And I'll find that out through my clients by their, progress and their feedback and all of that. So those are three areas that I'm going to concentrate on, but I would like to have other people in-house that could life coach in other areas like business, or just lots and lots of different areas that I haven't worked with. I could help you set up your business. But I want to find a niche. Is that the right word, or is it niche? I think it's niche. I want to find my niche and find out what I'm the best at. So, and I think that people are the best at things they've walked through themselves and been through themselves and made it on the other side of, because that gives people hope. The whole reason why I don't go to a therapist is because I don't think they have ever been through what I've been through. So when I meet somebody that has been through one or two things that I've been through, I cling on to those people because it's just, they're relatable, and it's easier to talk to somebody that's been through it. So I'm only going to be doing my life coaching on things that I have been through. So I want to eventually have a building though, and a business, and I already have my business name and everything. I just got to pay on the first to start the LLC before I share it with anybody. But I also want to have other life coaches underneath me so I can train them and everything. And you do not have to go to college or necessarily have the biggest degree in the world to be a life coach. You just have to have life experience. And so if this is something that you're interested in, stay tuned, and maybe you'll be somebody that I take under my belt. And it's not necessarily have to be local. It's also something that you can do abroad and you can do over the phone. You do not have to be in a building, in a brick and mortar per se. You can do it all over communication through social media, phone, however you want. So just keep that in mind. If you feel like this is something that you are called to do, maybe, then you might be in my company one day, and I'll let you guys know what that is on March 3rd, the day after my birthday, or maybe my birthday. We'll see. So yes, Dorothy C., I am working on my certification. Where did you get your certification? Through recovery, certified recovery coach. I have to have 500 hours and 25 clients, though, before I can get certified from the International Coaching Federation. I've done all my research, and I feel like that is the most prestigious training out there in the United States. So that's the one I want. It's right on the screen. Hold on, baby. I'll be in a minute. Okay. It's on the screen underneath my face or beside my face, however you want to look at it. Dorothy, where did you get certified? I'm just curious because I've been researching this the last month hardcore, and I finally decided which school I wanted to do. I mean, I'm only 7 classes away from my business degree, and I just said, forget that. I'm called to be a life coach. It's something that you know that you're called to do. It's not something that you're like wake up one day and you're like, oh, when I grow up, I want to be a life coach. No, it's life experience and craziness that you made it through and got on the other side of that made you realize that you are here to help people, that was your purpose behind all of that, is to walk through that. So at the end of the day, you can help people. And I'm super excited to start putting all my pain to purpose. I will. I'll give Gage a hug for you. I work at a drop-in center for a long time, which helps people with addiction and mental health issues, and was a volunteer. And I was certified through C-CAR. I'm not familiar. Must be something. Are you in the United States, Dorothy? I forget. I'm so sorry, love. And you can tell me that you don't want to say too. I mean, that's fine. No one ever has to answer any of my questions. You can just say, I'd rather not say. Bye, Becca. Well, I'm actually already life coaching, you guys. I've been life coaching for the last month. And the thing is you do not have to be certified to be a life coach. But if you are certified, you will get a job over somebody else. And you will also be hired if you pick a niche. If you are picking something that you specialize in, people will really appreciate that. But since I've only, started out, I feel like I've been life coaching my whole life. But since I only started out and I only have 3 clients, I'm trying to find out what I'm the best at. So I let my clients grade me after each session. A 30-minute session is $25. An hour session is $50. And then in the beginning, what we do is I give you a free 15-minute session and we just talk back and forth. You tell me a little bit about where you're at and what you want coaching in. And then I will tell you at the end of the phone call if I think that we're a fit. Then we will schedule right then and there your 30-minute or your hour session. Now, I would love an 8-week commitment where you have an hour session once a week for 8 weeks. But if you cannot do that, one session is better than none. Just email me and we'll get your consultation set up. That's absolutely free. You can decide at the end of that consultation that I'm not a fit for you as well. And I also will let you know up front that if I do not have any experience in it, since I am working on my 500 hours and my 25 clients, I will not take it on at this point. Later on, when I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone and take on things that I might not be comfortable with, then yes, I will. But in this point in time, I will choose my clients wisely and we will go from there. I have to keep track of my 25 clients and my 500 hours so I can get my certification at that point. But I cannot get certified until I have that. So I'm thinking it could take a year or two to get those 500 hours. Girl, you don't have to do that, Dorothy. I believe you. I was just wondering if there was somewhere else that I didn't look, because I had to dig to find these training schools for these certifications in life coaching, because you don't have to be certified. But it really is good too. Thank you, Burnett. I feel like we have so much in common. My dad was murdered 8 years ago. His case was so botched. I would love to send you all the info I have received to have you look over. Sure, Lisa, I would be happy to. Definitely. I have so much I'm behind on right now, but I will get to it when I can, I promise. I haven't covered the case from Sunday. I have to update you guys on Harley. I've heard so much stuff. I've heard that the chief is retiring, but I haven't seen any proof of that yet. I have posted a bunch of videos of when the neighbor went over to the house during the chimney removal in my Patreon group. And I've posted a bunch of pictures in there of the chimney removal and all the things that the chief was saying to him. All of those are posted in my Patreon group. I did put some links below the Harley videos in the comment section. So for anyone that can't afford to be in the Patreon, some of those links are in the comment section of both the Harley videos for you guys. And if you can afford $3 a month in my Patreon, the link to join is down below. And what you do is you join, and then it doesn't charge you until the first of the month. And on the first of the month, they either take out, it depending on what tier you join at. You can join at the $3 level and pay $3 a month to be in my Patreon. And then you're added to the private Facebook group. There's only 35 people in there. It's a very small family. I keep it updated every hour. I'm constantly posting in there. So if you are interested in that, you can join at the lowest level for $3 a month by clicking that blue link down below this video, the Patreon link. Or you can join at the $9 level, and I will send you a $5 pack of nail strips and cover the $5 shipping that it costs to get it to you. So you're basically getting in the Patreon for the first month for free at the $9 level. So that will not be every month, though. You just get that at your first month. Now, if you get in there and you join at the $9 level and you get your free set of nails and you decide, you know what, I don't want to pay $9 anymore a month. I already got my free set of nails. You're still welcome the following month to drop it down to $3. So that's not a big deal at all. Also, we have another level, which is the highest tier. It's $25 a month, but don't get scared. I only get $10 of that because the other $15 goes to sending you 2 random sets of nail strips every single month as if it was a nail subscription. And that covers $5 for your shipping and $10 for the 2 packs that you will receive every month. plus that gives me $10 for the Patreon. So however you want to do it, that's up to you, but you will receive a link to the group after I get the email that you have joined the Patreon. If you are like, what are these nail strips you're talking about? Look below this video. Down below in the description box, there's a little arrow that you hit underneath all videos, and all the information about the video will pop up for those of you that have never been to the description box. It's right underneath. If you're looking at the video, on the right-hand corner of the video box, you will see this little drop-down arrow. Hit it. It gives you the description. The Patreon link is in there. The Rarity Nails link is in there to get the nail strips. They're only $5 a pack. They're 100% real nail polish. And my Mary Kay link is in there. And Mary Kay is not your granny's makeup, you guys. It is new and improved, reformulated. Everything it is so pigmented and fabulous. So go check it out. Don't take my word for it. Check it out yourself. That link is down below as well. My email is on the screen. My email is down below. If you guys have anything that you want to communicate with me about, if you want to sign up to hire me as your life coach or to do the free 15-minute consultation, just let me know and I will get back to you as soon as possible. So thank you, everyone. Do we have any more questions? Let's see. I know you believe me, sweetie. I was offering to send you the forms because they really have amazing forms on what to ask and how to identify what their overall goal is. Oh, yeah. I bet you it'll be better than the books I bought on Amazon. Absolutely, Dorothy. I bought a bunch of books and activities on Amazon with forms, life coaching forms for addiction. But I bet you yours are more, let's see, more formal and productive is what I should say, and less goofing off and fun. I would love that. Still had the fingerprint dust on it. And it's really just doing the 12-step and continuing the 12-step keeps a person in recovery community. You never want to become stagnant. Yes, and I might not go down the just the addiction road to be my niche. I might end up finding out that I coach domestic violence women or men better, but I won't know until I get in there and I do everything that I've been through, every field that I can, and then let my clients tell me what I excel at. Not what I think I excel at, but keep track of the grades that they give me, keep track of their feedback, keep track of things that are resonating with them, what works, what doesn't work, and they will decide what my niche is. That's where I'm going right now. So I will, I have all the things I've walked through in my life. If you're looking to hire a life coach, I have lost a child in custody before. I have, and then got tricked to signing my parental rights over. I have had my stepfather molest me for 10 years of my life. I had my mother murdered by that same man, and he ended up getting away with it. And his first wife was found dead outside, just like my mom, and he's still not in prison for either one of them. I ended up at one point in my life thinking I was gay for 6 years of my life. There was another 6 years that I was in domestic violence, to where he almost killed me in Frederick, Colorado by choking me out. My other husband, I had to have my head stapled shut back together. I have 5 children, and I mean, the list goes on. My son has ADHD and high functioning autism, and so do I. And my brother has been incarcerated his whole life and addicted to crack, meth, cocaine, pretty much any drug that he can get his hand on. So I know what it's like to be an enabler. And so I've walked through all of these things. I've started a business from the ground up. I know how to get a business off the ground and running. So there are lots and lots of things that I've walked through in life, and life itself gave me the tools to be able to coach someone else to get where I am now without having to stumble and faceplant the whole way there. And I don't give you advice or answers. I help you find the answers within yourself, because I did it that way. There wasn't nobody to tell me what to do. I had to figure it out on my own. So who better to teach you how to do it on your own than someone that had to do it on their own? Thank you, guys. Thank you, sister. That would mean so much to me. Okay, you're funny. Well, that's what I'm here for. And I've kept my prices affordable because I don't want life coaching just to be for rich people or for people that can afford, nice things. I want life coaching to be able to be accessible to people like you and I that are on middle class and poor too, but every once in a while you've got to find some form of support, because you will never change without people supporting you. And that's maybe something that you can tell the enablers in your life, that, listen, you guys want me to change, then I need support. I need you to help me get there, because most of the people in our lives that are in our lives when we need to change, they're tired of dealing with us and they refuse to accept anymore. We've hit their bottom line and they're done supporting us. And so it's really, really hard to make that big decision when you don't have any support system. And that's when I step in and I'm your biggest cheerleader. I'm your advocate, but I'm firm with you too. I have to keep your behaviors in check and make sure that I'm telling you the truth that you so desperately need to hear. So I gotta go, but I'm gonna miss you guys and I'll be back. Don't you worry. Nope. Been single and abstinent for the last 4 years. Sure have. And I know you didn't ask about the abstinent thing, but I'm pretty proud because I used to be the most codependent woman you will ever meet on your life. I did not feel whole without a man making me the center of his attention, without a man telling me I am who I am. And now I don't need that. Now I give myself validation. Now I give myself love. All that positive affirmation I was trying to get from men, I get from myself. And it is the most refreshing, the most amazing 4 years I have ever experienced, because I have control of the remote. I can keep my phone on silent. I don't get in trouble if I don't respond back. I'm not guilty of doing something bad if I don't answer my phone. I can lose my phone if I want to. I don't go in the grocery store and think, what am I going to buy for this person? I get to buy what me and my son want. I don't have some other person telling me that I shouldn't be allowing my son to do this or do that, or are you going to let him play on that video game for that long? I mean, I don't have anybody else telling me what to do. In my whole life for 38 years, somebody was always telling me what to do. And once I found out what it was like that it wasn't so bad being alone, I don't know if I'll ever get in a relationship again. Yes, ma'am. And I homeschool my son, and I run a YouTube channel, and I sell Mary Kay, and I sell nails, and I'm a life coach. Sister, don't play. Thank you, Burnett. That means a lot. Exactly. And so I just become an expert on you. And trust me, I can do that. So give me a call, email me. We'll give that 15-minute consultation. Even if it's a troll, hey, I'll give you 15 minutes to raise Cain and get off your chest what you got to get off your chest. It's not going to bother me any. People that are spewing out misery and hate, they're hurting on the inside, you guys. Something caused that, and they're lashing out. So I am a very forgiving person, and I just have to make sure that I keep my inner circle very positive and uplifting. So if you are not being that for me and I feel like I'm going above and beyond and you're doing the bare minimum, then I will end up distancing myself from you and refilling that pretty much circle with people that are just affirming me and supporting me. I do not know why women do not uplift each other and how we make everything a competition and how it's just not, we should be fighting for each other. We should be, I don't know, but this has been a long outstanding thing with women since the day of time. I do have a handful of very amazing ones, but I know there's more out there than this. I know there's more loyal, honest sisters out there than the handful of the ones I found. And I'm on the mission to find you, or I'm on a mission to make the miserable ones wonderful, upstanding, amazing young women that we love and want to be around. So, yeah, that's my mission, is to make a world of women that are just so uplifting and positive and motivating that you want to be around them. That you want to be around them. There's so many girls in the world that say, yeah, I got more friends. I'm more friends with dudes. I got more guy friends. I want to change that. I want to change the saying to, I'd rather be friends with girls instead of I'd rather be friends with guys. And that's going to be my motto. So help me change the world, you guys. Bye.